Hello everyone and welcome to Hallie's Holy Smoker Barbecue. And today, my very first video ever on YouTube. I'm excited and we're going to do beef ribs. A lot of people call them dino ribs because of the bone, huge, big chunks of meat. And I'm excited to get this on my Weber Smoky Mountain today for you. First and foremost, the most important part about it is getting yourself a good cut of meat. You can go to the grocery store and get meat and that's all good and well. But I prefer to go to a butcher shop or a place that sells quality product and you know you're getting a good cut of meat. And today, I've got this beautiful, I mean beautiful, piece of meat. And these beef ribs, I'm telling you, I like beef ribs better than pork ribs. I'm probably in the minority, but I love beef ribs. And today we're going to put them on the Weber Smoky Mountain. We're going to get them cranked up to 200 degrees. And then we're going to pull them off and we're going to enjoy beef ribs. First and foremost, get yourself quality cut of meat, which we've done. And secondly, wash the meat, which I've done, prepare it. And today we're going to prepare this rub. And I've been kind of hooked on this over the last couple weeks. It's Cosmos Q Dry Rub, salt, pepper, and garlic. It doesn't get any better. I've used this on my prime rib a couple weeks ago. I made some pork ribs last weekend. They were delicious with this. And I'm kind of stuck on it, so we're going to stick with it today. And I know a lot of people, when they're doing barbecue, they love to really douse it in flavor, dump this stuff on there. I like to kind of go light and maybe not so heavy. I've learned because my family doesn't like it so heavy. So I've learned to kind of dial it back a little bit, which is hard for me to do, if you can believe that. And I should also mention I've been smoking stuff for about 10 years. So this is not my first parade. So here we go. Let's put some of this on. And we're going to get her on the Weber Smoky Mountain here in a little bit. It should take about 5 hours to cook. That's my hope, 6 maybe, at 225 to 250 for temp. And the hope is that it takes that long because I'm going to be hungry by the time this is done. I'm telling you right now, folks. You got to cover all angles, flip it. I even do the bottom. A lot of people don't, but I do. I just like to rub it in a little bit on the bones down here and get a little coverage on that. Flip her on the side, a little bit more coverage. So what I'd like to do with this video, or this YouTube channel, along with cooking and smoking up some good meat, is kind of share the gospel with everyone a little bit. As I was preparing for this, I was really anxious, really nervous, I still am, but it reminded me of Matthew 6:25 to 27, where Jesus said, "Who of you by worrying can add 1 extra hour to your life?" So it's a great reminder. Put your trust in God. Next thing was up. We're going to hit the smoker, the old Weber Smoky Mountain, and we'll get this on, and we should be ready to go here momentarily. Okay, folks, we're outside, and I've got the Weber Smoky Mountain ready to go. As you can see, we're going to use some hickory today, and we're going to do the minion method. For those of you unfamiliar with the minion method, it's where you encircle the coals and leave an opening in the middle, and you dump the hot coals in the middle, and then it burns out slowly. The ideal temp today would be about 240 on this Weber Smoky Mountain. That'll give me about a 5 hour cook. That is the plan. Doesn't always go according to plan, but I got a good breeze today, so I think it should work out just fine. And then we'll move over here to the actual chamber, the Weber Smoky Mountain chamber, and in the bottom, if you can see, there's a water pan in there. What that does and acts like as a heat deflector. So it deflects the heat out and around and forces the smoke over the top and brings it back down on top of the meat. The water is designed to put some moisture and also to keep the heat, the temperature at the perfect temperature that you set. And how you set the temperatures, we'll turn down here and you can see these little valves down here, these little openings. Yep. And that's how you set your temperature. And typically I'll have them, 2 of them open, 1 closed, not open all the way, and it should get me to about 240 to 250. And then we let her smoke, and then we get excited for when it's ready to rock. We'll put the meat on here in a second. All right, folks, the old Weber Smoky Mountain. Whoa, she's cooking. And we got her all set up, ready to go. You can see my heat probe right here. We'll tap that right into the beef here once I throw that on. So let's grab these big, beautiful ribs. Set them on there. Oh, my. Oh, son. That's a good one. And you can see the ribs, and we'll tap in here. Try not to hit the bone. Find a spot that's soft. There we go. And we want that internal temperature to reach right around 200 degrees on these beef ribs. And then I know we can pull them off, let them rest about a half an hour. And you want good smoke, and right now I've got really good smoke. You don't want big white smoke puffing out of here. You want kind of a clearer smoke, if there's such a thing, but that's what I've got going on here right now. So our optimum temperature on this Weber Smoky Mountain will be right around 230 is what my hope is, to 240. I like to cook low and slow, so I don't want to hit 250 if I can help it. So I got my my openings on the bottom kind of set to where I think it'll be, and we'll kind of gauge that as we move forward. But folks, we're in for a treat today. This is going to be a beautiful, beautiful chunk of meat when it's all said and done. I hope you stick around to watch the finale as we slice it up and dig in. We are now about 2.5 hours into this smoke, and I'm just coming out here to check on it. And as you can see, our temperature has been hanging pretty close to about 230, give or take. And sometimes these gauges, these temperature gauges, aren't always the very best, but I've got this one dialed into a point where I know where it's at through trial and error and a lot of years of use. As you can tell, this Weber Smoky Mountain probably needs a good cleaning, but let's take a look at where we're at inside. Oh yeah, get a load of that. Bone's starting to pull back. Oops, I got myself in the shadow there. It's really looking good, looking great. Like I said, 2.5 hours in, we still got another 2.5 hours to go, and we'll be having some beef ribs here shortly. Well, 7 hours it took to smoke this beast of beef ribs, and I'm telling you folks, this is an amazing piece of meat. Look at this bark on this beef rib. This is incredible. What a beautiful bark on it. I pulled it off at about 195-ish temp, and I let it sit for about 15-20 minutes. I want to go half an hour, but this fat man is hungry, and it should be still cooking inside there, so it should be real close to 200 degrees. That's the ideal temperature you want to pull it off at. But we're going to cut this bad boy, and let's hope no women and children are harmed in the process of this slicing. Here we go. Oh, I just want to show you, it is still, juice is just running out of this thing. Folks, this is a hit. This is a hit. What a beautiful, beautiful piece of meat. Time for the fat man to eat. I want to thank you all for watching my very first video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like in the like column, and subscribe, as we're going to do more and more of these as we move forward. Hit the notification button to make sure that you don't miss anything that we do in the future. Hey folks, enjoy your barbecue and be blessed.